guys, what's up, and welcome to the first TBR knockout reading vlog. So this year I have decided to really plan out my reading. And the readathons that I want to participate in, I probably won't do weekly readathons. I just don't like them that much. But a lot of the YouTubers that I watch are now doing like year-long readathons where you read 1 or 2 books a month. And I really like that format, so I am doing 2 different ones. I'm doing the Buzzwordathon, which will be a different reading vlog that I will do monthly, and then I'm going to do the TBR Knockout, which is by Completely Melanie. I think that's her name. I will put that below, the link to her channel and the TBR Knockout intro video. So, I just thought that I would intro this reading vlog and tell you what books I'm reading this month. And throughout this month, I will tell you my feelings towards these books while I'm reading them, after I read them. And so yeah, so this is just the intro part. And for the TBR Knockout, you read 2 books a month, and it's for the same type of theme. And the theme for January is dark. The first prompt is a dark word in the title, and I chose The Black Kids by Christina Hammond's read. Basically what happened was the TBR Knockout came out after I had already filmed my January TBR, so I just picked books off of my TBR. So I'm not too sure what this book is about. I guess it can be considered historical fiction, even though it just happened in 1992. But it takes place during the Rodney King riots, where Rodney King was beat half to death by the police, and then riots break out. So I believe it's historical fiction. I don't think the main person is based off of an actual person. So I'm really excited. I will be getting to this very soon. And then the second prompt for this month is to read a book with dark themes. I had a little bit of difficulty because anything can be considered dark theme. Kind of. A lot of the books that I read are dark themed technically, but I didn't know if it was supposed to be like a thriller or what, because I don't consider mysteries, which I did have an Agatha Christie book that I could have chosen, but I don't consider mysteries dark themes. So I have chosen This Is Where the World Ends by Amy Zhang. So I consider this book dark themes because I think this is more of a dark contemporary. One of Micah and Janie, they're like best friends, and Micah ends up in the hospital, not sure why, and Janie's nowhere in sight, and Janie's his best friend, like, where is she? And he's confused on why he's in the hospital. And so it's really going back into their friendship and wondering where things went wrong and what exactly caused everything to happen. And I don't know. Janie, she's a very dark character, and Micah, as far as I feel, not so much. I don't know. But I do think that this is a dark themed book. I don't know if I explained it very well. I'm only 27 pages in, so I'll update you whenever I get further in it. But we'll have to see. So I guess I should update you guys because I have not updated you guys. I am almost done. I'm probably going to finish this tonight because I literally cannot stop reading. I have about 70 pages left, and oh my god. So at first I was not feeling this book. The characters are very unlikable. I think it took me about to page 120 to really get into this book. And then it took a turn for the worst. And I literally, like, in a good way though. It was bad. It was something bad, but it really got me into the story, and I'm invested now. I'm invested in these characters, and I've been bawling for the last half of this book, and I just don't know how to describe it. I will have a more cohesive thought process after I finish it. I'll probably get back to you guys in the morning after I've gone to bed and been able to process this book. But yeah, I will say this book is very slow at first. It's quite annoying because it goes back and forth, and the main guy does not have very many memories. Like, he's very confused, so the writing is very confused, which makes sense, but then you're just confused. So it's a lot of confusion at first, and as the story goes on, I should have expected it from Amy Zhang because I read Falling into Place by them and absolutely lost my mind. I cried in that one too, so I really should have predicted this, but I did not expect it whatsoever, and there's so much coming out of this book. There's a lot of references to fairy tales, which I really love, and it's kind of combining fairy tales and what life is actually like, and I love that. Again, I will get back to you guys after I finish this book. It'll probably be a quick clip after I finish this book of me crying, and then I will do a cohesive review-ish type thing of This Is Where the World Ends. This is definitely a book with dark themes, a lot more darker themes than I thought. But yeah, I will do any warnings or whatever that this book needs, or trigger warnings, I guess, yeah, because there are quite a few trigger warnings that should be talked about. But yeah, I just wanted to come in on here and update you guys because I'm literally almost done with this book. So, but yeah, it takes quite a while to get into, but it's very fast paced. I pretty much finished this book in one sitting because I think I was on page like 50 whenever I started today, and I literally am almost done with it. So okay, I will get back to you guys later. I'm very stressed. Ow. I'm very stressed. So it's been a couple of days, and I have marinated on my thoughts about This Is Where the World Ends by Amy Zhang. Okay. I have complicated feelings about it. I did end up giving it 4 stars, and I do think it deserves 4 stars. But there are also some issues within this book. So this is a book about Janie and Micah. They are friends, but no one knows because they don't hang out in class. They don't hang out at school at all, and they only hang out after school, and she even spends the night at his house sometimes. So they have a complicated friendship. They also have a complicated relationship. They want to be together, yet something's causing them not to be together. And there's a place where they always go, which is the metaphor, and it's also very complicated. Everything about the story is complicated, and it just gets more complicated as the story goes on. At first, the characters are so unlikable. Like, I mean, I was on page like 120, and okay, listen, I still don't like them. But on page 120, I was still like, where is this story going? I don't like any of them, and I need something to happen. Well, something did happen. I'm not going to tell you, obviously. But it broke me. And the rest of this book literally destroyed me. I was not expecting it. I was never going to end up DNFing this book just because I do read through contemporaries pretty fast. And it wasn't boring, just nothing was happening, and the characters were just getting more unlikable by the minute. And they have some charm to them, yet how the story ends, I think, was terrible. Not in a way that's terrible, like I didn't like it, but terrible in the way that, why? Why did it have to end like this? Like, I was expecting something big. like a big reveal that the truth was not actually the truth, because there's a lot of intertwinement between what is true and what is a lie, and because it does deal with an unreliable narrator. In both cases, Janie and Micah are both unreliable, and you have to kind of figure out what actually is going on. There's a lot of metaphors, obviously. There's a whole place that they call a metaphor, and so you just have to figure out what is actually going on, which I enjoy, but it also can be very confusing. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I did end up giving it 4 stars. A lot of people did not rate it very well, which I can understand as well, just because the characters are very unlikable. There's a couple problematic things in here. I think there's some unnecessary homophobic comments in here, which one of the characters is gay, but it just didn't make any sense. There was like 1 or 2, and I was like, why was that thrown in? Like, that didn't make any sense. Like, I know it's high school, but still, like, it just didn't add to the story. It didn't add to any of the characters. Like, there's no point in putting it in there. This book does deal with sexual assault. It does deal with bullying, slut shaming, also very much toxic relationships, toxic friendships. So if any of that triggers you, don't read this book. Yeah, this fit perfectly into the prompt, which is great. And now I get to start on The Black Kids by Christina Hammond's Reed. This is a book that I'm very excited for. This is for the prompt of a book with a dark word in the title, and I'm excited. I don't know what to expect from it. I think I'm going to read this pretty quickly, maybe. We'll see. I'll update you more than I did with that book. I just read it so quickly that I literally didn't update. I should have while I was crying. So I've been absolutely terrible at keeping you guys up to date on how the books are going. I've just been reading through so many books lately that I don't know. I've been stuck in my house, so all I've been doing is reading, which is great, but I've been terrible at vlogging. So obviously I'm just reading 2 books, and basically what happened was I read This Is Where the World Ends by Amy Zhang, and then I read like 3 other books in between. So I'm finally getting to The Black Kids. I am 119 pages in. It took me a while to get into this. So this book is in like parts, I guess. So there's a before, a during, and an after. I'm currently in the during part, and the before part didn't get interesting until a little bit later on. It seemed like basically to the end of the before. That's when it started getting interesting, and now the during is very, very interesting, and I'm kind of loving it. I talked to a Bookstagrammer, and they didn't like it. It was an average book to them, and that's what I was feeling. But now I'm intrigued, and I think that I can fly through this book fairly quickly now. It is Tuesday. I don't know what time. It's like Tuesday, 8 o'clock at night, and I have to finish this book by Thursday, which I think is possible. I don't have anything going on, so I think it's highly possible. I'm going to read some more tonight. This Is Us comes on tonight, so I also have to watch that, obviously. But yeah, I have to finish this by Thursday so I can post this on Friday. But, so my thoughts are, I'm really enjoying it so far. It is very slow at the beginning. It's kind of all over the place, and it still is all over the place, but it's like an ordered mess right now. It starts to make a little bit more sense, but the first part is fairly slow and kind of boring. There is girls in here that the main character is friends with, that I literally cannot stand. They're so annoying and they're so rude to her. I was like, no. They're not even rude. Okay, they're rude, but they're like more so racist. And I'm not here for this. There is also an interesting, I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but it's a very odd thing to just randomly set in this book. One of her friends, I think it's one of her friends, all the girls kind of mixed together for me, the ones that she goes to school with, but I'm pretty sure it's one of her friends. And she has cancer, and it was just kind of like plopped in there. It was very random. I don't know if we will get more into that, but if not, pretty weird to just like plop that in there. But I assume the main character, what is the main character's name? I don't even know. Actually, I'm assuming that since that was plopped in here, Ashley and Heather are going to become very good friends. I need her to drop her friends though. 100% need her to drop her friends because they suck. She can keep the guy that she's sharing with her friend. He seems chill right now. I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually starting to enjoy this book, which I'm happy. It does seem like a little bit of a stream of conscious because you seem to be hopping from one timeline to the other. Not so much in the Deering part, which is great because that's why I was probably very confused in the before part because it kept jumping. And I understand it was trying to lay the ground for the rest of the book, but it was also very confusing. So I will update you guys either tomorrow or when I finish the book. This reading vlog is going to be very short because I am barely vlogging. But this is more of like a reading vlog / review for the books that I'm reading for these year-long readathons. So I'm not too mad about it. I also am not going to have much time when school starts next week. So short reading vlogs are great because I gotta edit them. Okay, I have a serious issue with this book. Okay. I'm gonna finish it because I need to finish this prompt and I literally don't have any other books that I can read for it. But I'm having a lot of issues with this book. It's easy to read, yet the timelines keep switching, which is fucking annoying. I hate when books do that. So that's an issue. But also, oh my god, literally, the main character, Ashley's friends, literally suck. And she just deals with it. And I get it's the 90s, but also, like, no. Like, her friends are so terrible to her, and particularly her friend Kimberly. I'm just like, what? They keep telling her that she literally either gets everything because she's black, which makes absolutely no sense, or they tell her that she can't be something because she's black. Like, she can't be an astronaut, she can't be a mermaid. Like, I don't understand why she deals with the racism that her friends continuously throw towards her. Like, also, the neighbors drive me nuts. I hate everyone in this book. I literally, ugh. I'm gonna finish it. 100% gonna finish it. But am I gonna like it? I don't know. Just like, all of the characters are so unlikable, and it kind of feels like the riots are just in the background. Like, it's a big plot point, but it also just, I don't know, it just seems like it's in the background, even though it should be one of the main points. But I do like that it is just about, like, a black girl living in a very white neighborhood, a very white area during the riots, but I just don't think it's been executed very well. The writing isn't terrible, but again, it flips back between timelines randomly, and I just lose interest when that happens. That's what happened in The Handmaid's Tale, and that's why I stopped reading it. So, but I'm gonna finish this book. I'm going to. After this book, I'll probably read my next readathon book. So, for Buzzwordathon, that will be up next week. But I think I'm gonna like that one a lot more. So, I'm really sad though, because I had high hopes for this. But, yeah. Okay, so, listen. I got a little bit further in this book. I think it was almost 200 pages into this book, and I had to DNF it. I wasn't planning to, since this is for a readathon, but I'm counting it because it was on my TBR, and now it's off my TBR, so therefore I knocked it out. Listen, this book is so hard to get through. None of the characters are likable, and none of them I cared what happened to them. So that was a whole issue. And I was just like bored. Very, very bored. From the reviews that I've seen on Bookstagram, I just don't, like, there's not going to be enough payoff at the end. It's just going to still be disappointing. So I didn't see a point in continuing it. So my review stands the same as the previous clip. I'm really upset though because I really had high hopes for this book and it just didn't pan out right. So yeah, that is my final thoughts about the books that I had to read this month. I will link completely Melanie's channel below, including her intro video for TBR Knockout. And yeah, join in. It's fun. Even if you don't like the books, it's still fun. And you get to choose your own books. There's prompts, obviously. I also have a blog post, so if you're interested in what I'm planning to read for the next 11 months for the TBR Knockout, you can check out my blog. I'll link it down below. I'll also post a blog post about my choices for Buzzwordathon, and I just post a lot of stuff about books, movies, music, so if you want to check it out, you can. It's linked down below. And yeah, so that is it. I will come back next month with a reading vlog for whatever books I choose for my TBR Knockout that month, and then also a Buzzwordathon reading vlog will be coming next week where I'm reading Dreamland Burning. I will try to do a lot better at updating you guys with my reading and how I'm feeling about the book. I think I'm going to really like it, if we're being honest. And yeah, so I'm really excited for these monthly reading vlogs. So that's all I have for you guys today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.